Yeah, so like I said, I reached out to Goldie on the assumption that I expect something from him. Do you get what I'm saying? I think I'll tell you the whole scenario. Banksy, as a graffiti artist, drew something on a local youth centre door, yeah, and then allowed that youth centre to sell that artwork and keep the money to keep the youth centre open. So I just posted and copied in Goldie to say, "Oh, Banksy is contributing to the local youth centre in his area. What you saying?" Ooh, tell me if you said that.
Go on, bang you up. You get bang.
Yo.
What happened? Tell me what happened.
My man inboxed me his phone number and says, "Phone me." Yeah. This time, I'm out celebrating my anniversary in a hotel with my wife. And I'm like, bro, I just need to make this phone call. Just give me a minute.
Like the candles,
I'm
just
on-
come back.
So I phone him now. I'm on a friendly thing. Like, oh, it's me. My mum wasn't happy. He was not happy, and I had to kind of remind him, like, oh, it's me. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, oh, do you remember me? And he's like, yeah, man, I remember. And that kind of eased him, but he was vexed. Like, don't assume that I ain't trying to do anything. I've spoken to the council. I've spoken to Express and Star, and obviously they've dragged him through the dirt. You know what I mean? Obviously he ain't perfect. You know, there's real
Scenario.
stuff that's happened.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And obviously, as a celebrity, they've dragged him through the dirt. So already his back's up. But he was saying, don't assume that I haven't tried. Why should I invest in something that the local authority's been neglectful in? Why should I? I've tried, I've spoken to him, I've said I'm willing to do this. You know, yes, he came down and done something for the youths here before. You know, giving up of his time. And that's what I'm saying, it comes down to expectations. Like, what do you expect from me? I've tried. So, yeah, man, that conversation was challenging. But it ended on a good note, you know, and I'm glad we had it. Because obviously that's then put me in his vision. Like, okay, yeah, I remember my man, it's my man. And I invited him on my podcast. I mean, we're going back to what? This was like 2013, I think. And them times I had the Youth Work Toolbox podcast, and I says, "Oh, I'd like you to come on." And he's like, "Yeah, just let me know." But it just never transpired. And at the time, he was moving to Thailand. At the time, he was in that transition, and he's just missing. So yeah. But that's
Crazy,
I mean
innit?
that's the headline. Really, is it comes down to expectation.
Yeah.
I think so. Going back to the original point, can you bust? We also have to remember that there's that proverb, and it's that a prophet gets no honor in his own town. And like you said, it's only when they go somewhere and they're recognised outside of Wolverhampton that it's almost like, okay, now you've bust.
Okay, so
So like you with the sound thing.
hear
then.
the whole. Okay, hear the sound man conversation now.
Yeah.
Or the old Jamaican saying.
Yeah.
And I said this right a couple of weeks. I've been saying it for not even a couple of weeks ago. I said it a couple of weeks ago, but then I said it for about 2 years, 3 years, probably about. In fact, I said it probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You know the Jamaican saying, "Dance a yard before you dance abroad."
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that was cool prior social media.
Yeah. I hear
Because you couldn't tell me dance a yard before you dance abroad. When I sent a mixed CD to Ibiza and it says, "Yo, this is who I am."
Yeah.
They were like, "Yo."
And then how many years running did they pay for you to come over there?
3 years straight.
Bam.
So they knew about me, not knowing about what I was doing where I was from.
Yeah.
So I think over time, certain old wives' tales or what you want to say is irrelevant.
Become irrelevant. It's true.
In modern times. It doesn't make no sense. You can't tell me dance a yard before. That, I don't have to hang around in Wolverhampton right now to go and boss in Australia.
Yeah.
My YouTube channel, this platform here, is boss out of Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
I don't need people in Wolverhampton to watch this before somebody in America says, "Oh, what they watching in Wolverhampton?"
Yeah.
You already boss.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
true.
old.
Again, this is disruptive. You know what I mean? The internet and these devices and how we use them has changed a lot of how it used to be. So yes, that saying made sense when you had to build
Nothing.
when you had to build
Build a
your
brand.
local platform to then, okay, now he's boss here. Let him go to Birmingham then and show them in Birmingham, like I had to do with the DJing, and then like you had to do with the sound system. Now you go Nottingham, then you end up in London on a big platform in London. Now he's boss now, and then you come back to your local where now you don't even need to think. Geography is no longer a barrier.
Exactly.
It's not.
Yeah.
Nobody could know you in Wolverhampton, in your own town. You could be unknown, but you're on this thing. You could have 10 million followers.
Yeah. Normally care. That's what I'm
in
saying.
South Korea, and you're the biggest thing out there.
Tour everywhere, and nobody cares.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah. I don't want anybody to think I was bashing Beverly Knight, but I probably will. I'll probably bash her again, man. Still, because I met her and like a few times and that, like yeah. Until I get to meet her face to face, man, and then I'll actually understand what
the views expressed by Selector Hype on this platform are
it is, man.
are not the views of 559 Media.
Yo, Beverly Knight, big up yourself, but there's so many scenarios with her.
Yeah.
I was a fan.
They
say never meet your peers. I was one of them ones there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It is what it is.
And again, that's just one platform. That's just like the music and entertainment platform. There's sports personalities. Any actors from Wolverhampton? Can't think.
I think we're very musically inclined in Wolverhampton, and in the Midlands as well. I think we're very on the whole musical thing.
Where was Stan Collymore from? He's from, was it Stafford?
Somewhere Cannock or somewhere like that. Somewhere local.
Yeah. Look at my man then. Andre Gray, footballer, plays for Watford.
Oh yeah.
From Heathtown.
Mm-hmm.
Wolves dropped him from their academy.
And where's he at now?
Is it Watford? So he was on Wolves academy, and by a certain age, they dropped him, ended his contract. So he ended up having to go somewhere. I don't even know where he went, like either Hereford or like a proper lower level Lincoln or some lower level team, and then literally started having to work his way back up. Went to all these different local teams, and then he ended up at Burnley when they was in what I know was the second division, but it would be the first division, not the Premiership. I don't really follow football no more, so I don't really know. But he wasn't in the Premiership. They was in the lower league, and then they got promoted. So immediately now, he's playing at a Premiership level, raised his profile, was banging in goals, got recognised, got signed to Watford, and now he's a Premiership football player from Wolverhampton. So he's made it.
Yeah.
But again, did he make it in Wolves?
Yeah.
No, he didn't, because Wolves dropped him.
So
I don't know whether they dropped him, but basically from the academy, they didn't extend his.
You can come from Wolves, but make people know, say it wasn't. I come from Wolves, but Wolves didn't bust me.
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah. But then, can your town bust you though? You know what I mean? And it's okay. I was thinking about this the other day, right? I was thinking, if we identified, let's say, again, let's say artisan, keep it in the music industry. If we selected a local artist and we said, as a town, as a city, we're going to get behind this person and we're going to push them, we're going to support them. We're more or less we're going to make sure this guy bosses. Would it work? Do you see what I mean? If we said we're gonna share all his posts,
it would be different. It would, because
do you see what I mean?
It could happen. I see what you're saying.
It's almost like a GoFundMe then.
It does, yeah.
Imagine a GoFundMe, but it's not just money. You're supporting them.
But then it becomes like a thing talking about like how you back your city. Like okay, then if you're gonna go and look at it like that, I will look at somebody like My youth from Manchester. What's his name?
Bugsy Malone.
Yeah.
Mm.
He bust from Manchester
Why?
because Manchester was backing him. Like he was getting a lot of attention in Manchester, and it created a vibe. Miss Boss, man. Miss Boss from Birmingham.
Yeah.
He didn't bust because he went to London or whatever. He was already hot.
Yeah.
JK Boss
From Birmingham.
from Birmingham because he had the people then behind him.
Mm.
And then whatever they was doing in London was just starting to get a little bit like, yo, we need to find somebody else.
Yeah.
And he was already bossing.
Mm.
So he never had to go to London to go and boss or whatever. They was already calling him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can boss, but it's just that they're just having that creative people around you that want you to win.
Mm.
I don't think Wolverhampton have a set of people that want you to win.
So do you think that it's not a supportive
Wolverhampton?
city? Yeah.
Nah, man, not at all.
Mm.
They don't support what we're doing.
Yeah.
They support you after you've won something or you've achieved something. Then they want to jump on your bandwagon.
And say, yeah,
I
man,
know
we
that
from a long
Wolverhampton.
time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I know that all day, every day.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Wolverhampton, that is what they're like.
Okay. So the question I would ask is, in other cities, have people found that to be true in their cities, or is it the culture of Wolverhampton then?
You'd have to ask everybody that's from that city, innit?
Mm.
That's when you have to start to bring some guests in. But
Yeah,
if you ask anybody from Wolverhampton,
Yeah.
they'll tell you the same, man. The only time they actually win is when they actually done something or achieved something.
Yeah. Well,
Or-
if you're watching this on YouTube, get in the comments and tell us your city, where you're from, and
Can
tell
you
us
boss?
if your city is of a supportive nature to whatever it is you're doing.
Mm.
I think it comes down to personalities as well. Like because Wolverhampton's so small, there's this almost like a fear that there can only be one. There can only be one best DJ or best selector. There can only be one best rapper.
I don't even. I think they all just think they want their number one.
Mm.
So that we don't even have anybody to say, yo, that's number one, because they all think they're number one.
Yeah.
So it's scattered, and like you said, it's such a small place that when it's scattered, then there's no actually real person to say, yo, he's locking the thing. It's like it's just 10 people here and 15 people there and 100 people there and
I seen it as well when I was going through the process of publishing my book and marketing my book. I got more support, like genuine support, from people who had only recently met in that kind of
scenario
sector. People who only knew me as Tony Brown, the author of,
from Wolverhampton or from out of Wolverhampton.
from foreign. Like some people, I've only ever met them online, or I've met them at a conference somewhere, and they backed the thing like it was theirs.
Yo,
fully pushed it like it's theirs, and I was like,
Sound System
wow.
Clothing never bust from Wolverhampton.
mm,
Everybody who wanted free T-shirts because they know me from Wolverhampton.
yeah,
Sound System Clothing bust from Europe
yeah,
because everybody was just on the whole thing. That's why I don't have to really go down the whole Sound System Clothing thing and promote it as much as I do now, because it's kind of winning. It's not fantastic and great, but
yeah,
it's winning because other people acknowledge it rather than the
Yeah.
people who around here. So when I say can you boss, I don't really think you can.
You know what though? What
Or
I
you
learned,
can and just dominate it and just say, you know what, I'll boss anyway. And then you're going to get one bag of haters and be like, yo, who does he think he is?
But I think
just
that's what you
they're
need to
not
do.
winning it.
I think that's what you need to do. I think it's a case of you have to just don't focus on proving anything to anybody in your city. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not, and that's what I'm saying. When I was going through that process of writing that book, I wasn't writing it for Wolverhampton. It was a personal goal for me that before I hit 40, I'm writing and publishing a book. Get out of my way. Like, don't try and stop me, because it's a goal I've got. And when I went through the process, I wasn't dependent on support from Wolverhampton for it to be a success. But at the back end of the process, what I realised was I got more support from people who had only recently met at conferences or on certain online platforms or group forums, whatever. They really supported the thing. Where the people that my day ones, really, I didn't really get that huge
You're not going to get it, man.
push. I mean, I set up a Thunderclap, which is, you know, that online platform where you set a certain date and then it goes out on everyone's thing, and you can set a level of how many people you need. A bit like a Kickstarter. And until you hit your target, it won't go live. And I set my bar low. I set it to 200 people. It was either 200 or 500 people. I think it was 200 people. I couldn't even get 200 people to sign up for the Thunderclap. And all they need to do is click a button to say, yeah, I will send out a pre-written tweet. They haven't got to do anything, just tick a button to say, I'm willing for a pre-written tweet to go out on my Twitter or my Facebook supporting Tony's post. And I couldn't even get 200 people to do it. So, you know.
I bust in Wolverhampton.
Of course you did.
I can walk in any area in Wolverhampton and know me. Like, there's nothing else I can do. So after that now, it's just a bigger platform. Like, I just think the bigger picture. Like, the reason why I brought up the question is just that some people just seem to just be here.
Yeah.
Like, that's their thing.
Yeah.
But so if that's your thing, that's cool. But don't fight the person that's looking the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you boss Wolverhampton, but they don't even know you in Coventry. In terms of a DJ wise. And I'm being honest, like, you're a DJ here. Go Coventry, they don't know you. Go Nuneaton, they don't know you. Go Leeds, Leicester, Sheffield, Nottingham, Northampton, where they don't know you. So you kind of boss Wolverhampton, but you ain't boss nowhere else. Like, you can't even, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. On the support thing though, what I learned, and it helped me to be to accept it more, and it was like, I can't be angry with the people. I can't blame them for not supporting. Like, when you don't get the support you need or the support you expect, you shouldn't be upset, because it's hard for people to see you in your new position. If they're used to just seeing you, oh, that's just hype, I see him all the time, you get me? Oh, that's just Tony from you know what I mean? I see him on Farndale. I see him on the 559 bus. I see him in bus station. Oh, it's just my man. It's not a big deal. Where if other people only know you as, oh, that's hype, he was in World Cup Clash, oh, that's Tony Brown, the author of Standard Procedure.
You rather that, innit?
It's that. They automatically, they don't know anything other than, they never used to see you running up and down on the road and playing Kirby and whatever else. So it's hard for people to accept you in your new role
when you're local.
Yeah.
So can you? This is what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it goes back to the exact same thing. It's like
a prophet can get no honour in his own town,
man,
because they know him from he was a youth.
Uh-huh.
It's just him. I remember when he was on Skyline and he couldn't mix that very well.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm bigger than that.
Exactly.
Now. Thank you.
It's like don't buy no t-shirts of hype. He's just printing t-shirts.
Exactly. I know where he gets his t-shirts from.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know who does his printing.
It's so local.
You know what I mean?
But the guy in Europe is like, yo, I want 20 of those because I see your YouTube channel and you got this and the other. So can you, boss? You can if you want to. I think.
And that's it.
Isn't it?
That's it. It's this. Just turn on your thing and do what you need to do, and don't look local. You know what I mean? There's what they say. Think.
I always say think global, not local.
That's it. That's it. What did they say? They say think global, work local, or something like that. I don't know. But yeah.